Hi, I'm Chef Joe from Clean Eating, and today I'm going to show you how to fillet a whole fish. Now, when you go to your fishmonger to pick out a whole fish, you want to make sure that it has really nice shiny eyes and they're not sunken in at all. They're nice and bright and full and shiny. You also want to make sure that the flesh is nice and firm and springs back when you touch it. These are the two major indicators of a fresh fish. Now, what do you do with this when you get it home? Your fishmonger should have gutted it for you, scaled it, and maybe trimmed off a fin or trimmed the tail a little bit. So the first thing you need to do when you get it home is make sure you have a nice flat surface and you've anchored your cutting board with some damp paper towel or a damp towel so it doesn't move around on you. To fillet your fish, it's essential that you have a nice sharp knife. So before you start filleting your fish, you want to make sure you either use a sharpening steel and give your knife a couple passes to make sure that it's perfectly sharp, or use your pull-through sharpener to get a perfect edge, because this is really, really important. Now, you want to start to fillet your fish down the backbone. So starting right at the tail, right in the middle, make a small incision and just cut right down the backbone of the fish. Now, you're going to cut right behind the gills, slightly on an angle towards the head. So this will maximize the size of your fillet that you've got. Now, once you've got this taken care of, you can angle your knife towards the tail, and you'll hear a little bit of crunching, don't worry. And you want to run your knife parallel to your cutting board, and you'll feel it sort of going right along the backbone of the fish towards the tail. Now there's one pretty good looking fillet there. Now flip it over, and you want to do the next same cut that you did behind the fin, and again angle it towards the tail, get it right in there. It's okay if you stop and just get your bearings a little bit, and then slide it right along the backbone again. Now, if you don't do it perfectly, don't worry. Now, once you've got your little fish skeleton here, there's two things that you need to do with this. First is take a spoon and just really gently scrape any of the meat that's left on the bone. And you can use this for any sort of clean eating dip recipe, a fish pie, or anything you need like a fish puree for. So don't waste this. Okay, once you've scraped all the meat off the bone, now you can put this in a zip-top bag and save it until you have enough fish bones where you can make a really amazing fish stock. So save these little guys. Now, once you've got your fillets, there are still some bones on here. So you just take your knife and run them underneath just to get off any of these little sort of belly bones from the fish. There we go. And then you'll have a nice clean fillet. And if you like, you can just trim up the bottom a little bit to make it look a little bit more chefy. But this looks pretty good. Now there will be some little pin bones right along the middle of the fillet here. And I like to leave them in until after I cook them, because you'll be able to see them a lot better and they'll come out a lot easier. So just leave them in, then you can grab a pair of tweezers and just really gently pull them out. So we'll do the same thing with this other fillet here. Just clean up the bottom. And you can use a little spoon trick again on these bones and scrape off any of the meat. And then there you've got two perfect fillets. So we have our two perfect fillets, and then the rest of our bones can go into our little fish stock bag. I'm Chef Joe. Thanks for watching, and visit us again at cleaneating.com for more tips and tricks, and pick up a copy of Clean Eating magazine. We'll see you soon.